Thanks for being here.
Well, always a pleasure. A little bit of snow, but nothing like last week. That's a good thing.
Of course, it is mid-March. Why wouldn't it snow in New York City the third time in like 10 days? But I don't think it's Is it sticking outside?
No.
I think we're good.
No, I think we're going to be good.
Fantastic. All right, let's talk some drafts. The only bad thing about the NFL draft is that it puts an end to the mock drafts. Because once we know where everyone is going, there's no point in guessing anymore. Joel Klatt has a great mock draft. He's got the Giants selecting Saquon Barkley at number 2. Some view the Penn State running back as the top prospect in the draft. So, David, I ask you, what should the Giants do with that number 2 pick, knowing everything that happened last year with Eli Manning?
Obviously, there's a lot that still can take place. Obviously, we can go back to last year, everything that took place with Eli Manning, moving forward here into the 2018 season. That is the one thing that we know with Pat Shurmur and Dave Gettleman. They said that Eli Manning will be the starting quarterback in 2018.
Yeah.
But to say that that number 2 pick is locked in right now, there's still a lot that can happen. Everybody's talking about the Cleveland Browns and all the moves that they made, Tyrod Taylor and Jarvis Landry, and everything they've done to bolster the roster, not only to help get free agents wanting to come to Cleveland, but to still have all those draft picks. You still think at that one position, they got to look at a quarterback and still think about taking one to think about the long-term future of the Cleveland Browns. The same thing can be said about the New York Giants. As of this morning, it looks like the Giants lost out in the bid for Andrew Norwell, which they needed at the guard position. Obviously, it looks like he's signing with Jacksonville. So when you think about that number 2 pick, obviously it's easy to think about Saquon Barkley with how inefficient the Giants' running game was last year. But having said that, you still have to fix the long-term solution at quarterback. I understand Eli Manning is the current starting quarterback, but at some time that expiration date is going to get checked. And for this Giants organization and this team, you don't ever want to be picking 2 ever again. Not to mention, if you look at the process 2 years down the road, next year's free agents in the NFL draft. Matt Ryan, he's not leaving Atlanta. Tyrod Taylor, he's not the future of the Giants. Nick Foles, he may get traded out of Philadelphia. Matt Schaub, no. Colt McCoy, no. Landry Jones, no. Ryan Griffin, no. Sean Mannion, Brett Hundley. I can go on and on. So if the Giants do not address the quarterback position with this number 2 pick, if they believe in a quarterback that's in this draft, it's going to be another 3 years to wait down the line to where they can pick that guy. And also, with that second pick, if the Browns are willing to move that number 4 to number 2, the Giants really have to think about, like I said, without Andrew Norwell, they've got to think about that offensive line, where at number 4, they could get Quentin Nelson. When you think about the Eagles, they just got Michael Bennett. You talked about fixing and addressing your offensive line. You have to do it, I believe, before getting that running back.
I think the Giants also have to go into the draft with some type of flexibility. Everyone is waiting on the Browns. Now, my suggestion to the Browns, forget the need at quarterback, because I believe that the top 3 quarterbacks are bundled up. And I can get one of those guys, because unless they're just in love with one guy. All right? If they're in love with one guy, okay, no problem. You should take him number 1, because Barkley is such a phenomenal talent. And I believe he has the ability, just like a quarterback does, to be able to change the Cleveland Browns. When you look at getting Tyrod Taylor, when you look at getting Jarvis Landry, if you add a running back to that, it's cold in Cleveland. There is no global warming coming there. You need to be able to run the ball, and you like to have a running back who has the versatility that Barkley brings as far as his ability to be able to come out of the backfield, and you can utilize him on special teams. This could make up for the Trent Richardson fiasco.
Wow.
He could be the back that they thought that he was when they made that huge mistake. It's hard for an organization when you've missed on 2 quarterbacks in Wentz and Deshaun Watson to take a running back in front of these quarterbacks. Cleveland will go with their natural instincts, take a quarterback. I believe Barkley will be available for the Giants, and when he's there, they're going to have to get over the fact that, man, we need a quarterback for the future, because the Giants are selecting number 2. That means they're selecting number 2 in the second round, too. So in that second round, I believe, take Barkley with the second pick, the second round, try to get back up into the first round and get yourself one of the 5 quarterbacks that have a first-round grade on.
So that's the trading back into the first, or maybe they love Lamar Jackson, who will probably be there with the second pick of the second round. Like, that is an interesting have your cake and eat it too scenario, right? Where you get potentially the best player in the draft, and you get your long-term fix at quarterback. It's what the Cowboys, I don't think, knew they were doing it, but it's what the Cowboys may have done a few years ago, where they got maybe the best player in the draft in Ezekiel Elliott, and then also later they had to wait till they could wait until the 4th round to get Dak Prescott as their long-term fix at quarterback. But when the point you made, David, is the one that I can't get over. The New York Giants, when are you going to be drafting number 2 again? You hope never.
Yeah.
Since you drafted Eli Manning, you know how many times you drafted for it in the top 2? In the top 8, 0 times. Eli's been there 15 years. Like, this is a scenario that you hope to never duplicate. You hope that this is the last time you are even in this discussion. It is hard to find a way you are not drafting high again soon unless you have a contingency for Eli built in. So I understand the idea of, but man, we won 11 games just 2 years ago. Everything went to hell this year. We had injuries. The offensive line didn't gel. The defensive guys didn't play up to their contracts. Odell's coming back. We got an upgrade at coach. For all these reasons, let's go get the best player, go try to win this division. I feel like that is a myopic, short-sighted approach if, again, this is similar to what you said about the Browns, if there's a quarterback you love, if there's a quarterback that you grade out as a franchise-level quarterback, a quarterback that if you were drafting at number 9, you would take at number 9, I'd take him at number 2.
Is there a quarterback you love in this draft? Because I don't know if that Lamar scenario is going to work. I mean, you're taking a lot of chances and hoping that by taking Saquon that you're going to figure out a way to get him later. Is there a guy you like that you think would be a great fit for the Giants?
I'm an Allen guy. I'm an Allen fan. I've watched film on all these guys, Sam Darnold, Rosen, and Allen. For me, his upside, his ability to be able to sit and learn under this year, his size, his ability to move, and that arm strength is something that you can work on and groom in the right system with the right quarterback and coaches and system. And I think that's something that Pat Shurmur brings to the table. In regards to Darnold, I don't know about his true leadership skills and his vocal ability to control and command the attention of a huddle, especially the fact that he has turned over the football a lot last season, not only throwing interceptions, but his ability not to have 2 hands on the football, get sacked, force fumbled, and give up the football that way. In regards to Josh Rosen, I understand in his technique, his fundamentals, he is the most sound, but once again, does he command that control? Is he the vocal guy in New York City and in the New York Giants locker room that can really direct and control that football?
What makes you think that, because when you talked about Josh Allen, you talked about the measurables, but with the other guys, it was about the leadership capabilities. What makes you think Josh Allen has those things you think Rosen and Darnold might not?
I've covered his games before. I've sat down and interviewed him myself. He is quiet, calm. He has that confidence, and he has the perfect demeanor to fit in New York City.
But Eli doesn't have the perfect demeanor to fit in New York City. He never did. Real quiet. You would never look at him and
that's
say,
the perfect demeanor in New York City, because you can't get too high, you can't get too low.
Oh, okay.
And throughout that time, even keel, Eli's right down the middle every time.
Yeah, but I don't think people give Eli enough credit.
Okay.
Man, Eli is a killer. Man.
Oh, yeah.
Eli late in the game, don't get fooled by the, oh, shucks. I mean, look at his biggest wins. Look at the Giants' biggest wins, and look what Eli Manning did under the most, the toughest conditions. 3rd down, 4th down, when they want to go for it, in Lambeau Field, in the Super Bowl. You just can't beat anybody and do those types of things. So I just know more about Eli, and I'm not going to say that's an act with Eli. That is his personality, but privately, man, Eli is a different guy than that.
Oh, yeah, because he is a constant competitor. You always hear wide receivers coming back to the huddle. I was open. No, you weren't. He'll set them down and direct them right away. And the biggest thing you never want to get from Eli Manning is a look from your parents. I'm not mad. I'm disappointed. When he gives you that look based upon preparation and the way that he demands and respects the same out of you like he does himself, it goes a long way in that locker room.
And the one other thing, Eli, and I'm not a huge Eli fan, but what he doesn't get enough credit for, he's never got enough credit for, is the guy's never been hurt. I mean, I'm sure he's been hurt, but he's never been injured. The only game he's ever missed was when they took him off the field. To play in that division for that long, in that weather, at his size, and to never miss a game due to injury is absolutely remarkable. His Iron Man streak, which obviously was broken last year.
Still trying to get over you being disappointed in me, David Daly. Stings. All right, stick around, David. Coming up, will it be Drew Brees or Kirk Cousins in Minnesota? I know what CeCe thinks. Next on First Things First.